Game number 1 of Nwpo versus ApparentlyJack. China, we go! They were maybe thinking it was a test. I think maybe Johnny might have tested a server for them on the other stream, which is fine, and actually probably the right thing to do for the Saudi players who oftentimes can get bad servers on EU. But this server seems good to go, so we're going to start this game, Nwpo versus ApparentlyJack. It is a best of 5 in the Feer Frenzy, a $1,500 1v1. Over here in Group A, we got Nwpo, Jack, Dr. Known, and Nas. In Group B, Atto, Moxie, Raziers, and Toxic. We're playing all the way through Group A first. This is game number 2 over here on my stream. Shout out to JohnnyBoy_I, if you've ever heard of him. He's running games to finish out Group A as well over on his stream. Make sure to check it out. I don't know if he'll be uploading any of them to YouTube or not. You might be able to see some of the games there. Hard to say. But we just saw Nwpo versus Jack. I'm going to go ahead and Nwpo versus Dr. Known and Jack versus Nas. I'm going to be mentioning how the other games went. It's relevant to what happens here late in the pool. So if you do want them unspoiled, best to watch them in order. Because we're just going to have to mention the other results. That being said, Nas able to take Jack down in Game 5. Nwpo beating Dr. Known in 4. So Dr. Known able to take a game off of Nwpo. Something that doesn't happen very often. Any of the Saudi players taking any games off of Nwpo and Rawas. Those two have kind of owned the 1v1 scene for the whole MENA region. So even taking a game can be a good sign for those eventually trying to take the place of Nwpo and Rawas. Nice recovery save by Jack to keep Nwpo from scoring there. Reset from Nwpo. He just plays at another speed, it feels like. But Jack is ready for that. Just because Nwpo seems to be playing quicker than we just saw Nas play, we watched Jack, in both games now. Jack seems to be able to read where Nwpo's headed with the ball, and will save it, counter it, make it 2-0. Nas has always played a little bit more of a methodical play style than Nwpo, who we now have in the game. Make sure to switch the title here. Nwpo versus ApparentlyJack. When Nwpo burst onto the scene in ones, like many of the young players do, he did so by just playing unbelievably and far too fast. to the point where he couldn't even control himself, it felt like. And sometimes it would lead to games that could snowball his way, but way too often it led to open nets and easy opportunities for his opponent. Nice fake. Since then, what a recovery from Jack. My goodness. Somehow pre-flip back and got the save. I was going to say, since then, Nwpo found out how to not leave those openings, to continue to play fast, maybe only turn it down half a notch, but still get his goals. That being said, he wasn't able to get that one after the fake. Jack recovering, sticking into the play. Nice wall dash into backboard double for the opening goal for Nwpo. Nwpo instantly pulling out of his aerial with a backflip as he sees Jack going to take it away. Now passing to himself off the ceiling. Jack steals it clean and gets a strong enough touch that it will be a goal. This is not an easy long shot. If you ask me, maybe Jack would tell you that it is. You need to get a good landing, readjust, and make sure you get maximum power on it so that Nwpo can't recover and get back. We're talking about the fastest player in the game, who is probably going to have the best recovery in that position you could ask for. But Jack keeps it away and now makes it 5-1. Building up a bit of separation against the guy known to snowball. Probably need to do that to make sure you snuff out any chance of a comeback. Jack is on fire right now, pre-flipping and dunking this one in. Nwpo wasn't able to make contact there and was prioritizing picking up boost, or maybe just assumed he would be able to get some sort of disruption, because with no touch at all, retreating to the corner means just wide open net. Jack sending this one straight in the air. Nwpo pops it high, but so high that it actually gives Jack time to go pick up 100. He can feel good about the fact that Nwpo's shot isn't coming anytime soon. That was one of the softest touches I've ever seen from a guy known to boom the ball whenever he wants. He's going next! He's already going next. I want to see if we can look at this power shot or lack of power shot. It's not going to show us because it took long enough for Jack to score, but 1 goal for Nwpo in game number 1. A 7-1 game for Jack. Can't ask for a better start if you're an ApparentlyJack fan. Nwpo with the heresy. Rocking the Falcons decal with the Twisted Minds sponsorship. Somebody make sure to not tell the Twisted Mind execs. Jack hook-shotting to get his first goal. Jack is actually always playing RLCS in his team's decal. Is there any reason he's not wearing the GK decal today? Does he just specifically turn it on just for RLCS? Because I feel like I'm thinking about his ones matches and he didn't have it on then either. He's just truly the company man. Jack wanted the psycho, didn't get it. Wanted the clear, sent it right back into Nwpo. I am excited to see what happens in terms of... Ooh, nice late reset from Nwpo. Normally you want to try and get resets as soon as possible. But this time, Nwpo doesn't even get any touches until the very end of the dribble. Last second reset, last second flip. And moves the ball all the way from the right post to the left one, basically. In order to convert for a goal. Already doubled his scoring of game number 1. He forfeit out of Brazil in game 1. And has now made it 3-1. Tripled his scoring within a minute. Nwpo throwing in a couple wall dashes to catch back up to this ball. Doesn't really have space to work with to create an opportunity. So instead, switching to this side of the field, getting a boost steal, but Jack is sitting on more than enough boost in and out of the net. Nwpo just chases him all the way out. I don't care if you're in reverse. You need to leave the net. This ball must roll in. I don't care how slowly. There probably was a world with enough attempts, Jack could actually reverse out of the net and get that save, but he has to line up the perfect direction in reverse to head towards the ball and jump back down. It's just not going to be easy. Probably would take him a few tries even in a training pack type setup. Jack, pop up flick, nice save from Nwpo, just a little bit too soft from Jack. Very safe play though. Results in a boost steal and another attempt. Pulling off for the 50 can be really tough to try and score from the attacking corners, where you see so many players getting good at popping the ball out to the midfield, basically nowhere towards the net, and then using resets to bring it back, just because having that wide attack angle is just that much better. Nwpo is going to send one into his own nets for Jack's second goal. Nwpo finding himself in too deep on the back wall of an opponent's. Needing to recover, not an unfamiliar position for him. But this time, he sends one into his own nets. Nwpo first touch reset, Jack dunks. Nwpo deciding to completely leave. Just felt like the ball bouncing off the side wall was not going to give him anything solid, which I didn't necessarily agree with. I thought he would stick around and try and make something out of it. But maybe because he had lower boost than Jack, he just felt like any tussle play would actually not go his way and just didn't want any chance of them bumping around with each other. So just left, and now getting a nice pre-flip out of his own corner. The 50 is good enough to get him a goal. Nwpo Pretty heavy. Oh my goodness, Jack. See, pretty heavy touch with the end of that. Oh wait, that's actually too much. Oh no, it's gonna be fine. Did Jack get a bad spawn? So much has happened there. I want to see if Jack got a bad spawn. It felt like popping that ball up was dangerous. Ooh, Jack just immediately went for 100 and he spawned far. If he spawned close and didn't immediately go for 100, maybe. But Jack not able to convert on this kickoff. Goomba stomping Nwpo. Neither one of them going for boost. This is the highest level of 1v1. These two just zero boost, both recognizing it's not worth it to go to get the 100, but Nwpo just not power sliding enough, not touching the ball, just allowing Jack a third goal. Jack slow playing here. I would say these slow plays haven't necessarily worked for him on these kickoff conversions. Now doing that dribble I just talked about. Oh my goodness, Nwpo makes the save. Jack got such a good attacking angle, and Nwpo still kept it out, kept the last few pixels from going in. Now launching this one over Jack. It almost feels like he earned this goal with that save. Felt like when you get a save like that, it leads to an aggressive, almost frustration type challenge often, where the player wants to regain control and make something out of their strong possession instead of being willing to just completely give up on it. And so Nwpo rewarded. What a turnaround. Again, lost game 1, 7-1. He put up 1 goal in game 1. Has completely made up for it with his game number 2. I like this from Jack. I like the heavy touch. See, this is not what he was doing earlier. He was trying to slow play it against Nwpo after winning kickoffs, and Nwpo was handling it. This time, Jack powers it to the back wall, gets a Nwpo mistake, and gets a 4th goal. He'll need 4 more kickoff goals probably if he wants to bring this game back. Wait, Nwpo mistouched. Jack, how did he know that's where he was headed? You'd expect Nwpo to clear this one away, and Jack went up to the ceiling like he knew that's where Nwpo was going to put it. And that is such an awkward misplay there. Not only did Nwpo tap it up, but he jumped himself off the wall, made himself fall to the ground. Minute 4 left to go. Another kickoff to the blue half. Jack has caught this one, forced to play this one slow. Don't blame him for that. Nwpo still low on boosts. Faked like he might backflip challenge in order to get Nwpo to take the ball away. Or hit the ball away, I should say. If you look from Nwpo POV, he's hitting this one because he's thinking Jack is going to reverse and he can tap it over the top of him. But it was all just a bait, a fake challenge to earn possession. 49 seconds is more than enough time. Nwpo trying to cheese kickoff. It doesn't work out for him. This ball bouncing towards net. He gets the first save. He's going to get a big clear on 0 boost. It should just be a Jack possession, though. It was hook shot to the back wall to try and play quickly. Nwpo is looking to see what he can get with 0 boost, which is sometimes the right play, but sometimes over-aggressive. What a cut from ApparentlyJack. He is within 1. Breaking the axles of Nwpo on the field as he slices it around him and is able to catch it and bring it back to net. Now he just needs a kickoff that earns him possession. He doesn't even need an immediate goal. He could be in trouble if Nwpo gets boost and ball, which is what he's going to get. And I feel like Nwpo's going to be so good at baiting Jack into a bad challenge. But here Nwpo goes. Big air dribble. Probably going to save boost and go low. Very likely. In fact, fakes. Maybe the safest way to end that air dribble. Jack didn't panic, though. And now has a carry. Flick towards net. Nwpo, soft save. Wanted a follow-up. Jack tried to cut off that follow-up by bumping him where he would need to be. Chain dash. He's not going to be back. Jack's going to use the boost. Get underneath it. Pop it. It's an easy take. And it's a tie game in game number 2. This was 8-3, I think, with maybe a minute left to go. Nwpo tried to use chain dashes as a way to ice out the game. Thought he could chase down to the ball and just slam it to no man's land, but it went over the top instead. Now needs to win it in overtime. I think he just did. No, too heavy. He can't get back to it. You still have advantage. Jack playing off pads. Nwpo to the ceiling. Ground pinch. Nwpo wanted the fans to sweat, but he drops the mic and takes game number 2 in overtime. Game number 3. Nwpo gets the win in the Falcons decal. Jack challenging early on the high air dribble. Nwpo got forced to the ground, which enables his recovery and allows him to shoot on an open net. Jack had to boost himself down and still got there later. Jack, double reset. Interesting use of the second reset, just to empty jump to try and catch the ball and cut it in when he didn't have the angle. But despite how interesting it is, it's still going to be a Nwpo goal. So he didn't do a good enough job of keeping it in play, and then a little bump leads to the open net. Jack double jumping to cut off the tight angle. This won't be an opportunity, I don't think. Is Jack going to be able to carry this one in? Nwpo just jumped in reverse wave dash on the back wall, and Jack used that ball as boost on that attempt. Wait a second, there was actually a world in which Jack could have made the save, but it's just going to be a 3-0 start for Nwpo. Jack could really afford to get going. He's going to bring it back to classic 1v1 here. Instead of going up the wall for the wall to air dribble, brought the ball down to the ground for a little ground bounce dribble to try and cut it past Nwpo. But Nwpo challenged early, didn't allow it to get set up. Very rarely in ones now do you see players not accepting that they're forced to air dribble. It's a tough wave dash on the curve that Jack just got. Undercuts, and now immediately you see Jack going for heavy touches to try and counter, and he does just that. Throwing off the recovery for even a moment like this can make it possible, especially when you've starved out your opponent to convert on open nets, but you do need to go quickly. Nwpo flick, top left. Side flip flick to make it 4-1. Jack picking up 100. Here's the chain dashing from Nwpo. So backs off. Nwpo did get it to bounce towards net. And Hurley challenges. How long can he get away with playing aggressive on zero? It seems like maybe permanently, because he's got 100 now. And he just let Jack miss the ball and will shoot a counterattack for 5-1. Interesting kickoff from Nwpo. Tornado spinning into a top of car 50 wave dash. Not something we see very often. Jack jumping, resetting. Oh my goodness, look at this play from Jack. Floats up to the ceiling with his reset and dashes on the ceiling to immediately get back to the ball. Lands clean in the corner and dishes it in. Nwpo has had some strong... Oh no! Was it possible for Jack? Was he trying to get the perfect clear? Or did he just miss? I'm sorry that I had to watch this back. I wasn't sure. Oh, I think he could have had it. But instead he pre-flips underneath it. Oh, was there a slight lag, or... Jack seems to react late. There's definitely a chance that on his ping, he felt like he got the ball. Nwpo staring backwards off the kickoff. Jack getting bumped. Has a slow rolling ball. If he had a bouncing ball, probably able to score there, but because he has to use a couple different touches just to chip it up, that's the difference between allowing Nwpo a good position or not. Taking Nupo's corner boost. Nupo's just all over the ball. Has this headed towards the net. Look at this chain dash. I'm not sure Nwpo gets there this fast without the help of a chain dash. Jack wants to go next. 0 boost to his name. Chain dashing out to the midfield 100 and stays ahead of Jack to secure the game. Nwpo 2 games straight. Up 2-1 in the best of 5. Game number 4. Jack and Nwpo. Jack won game number 1 7-1. He seemed to have the edge as everything was going Jack's way. He almost was able to steal game number 2 after a huge start for Nwpo. It was 8-3 at one point. Jack forced it to an 8-8 overtime, but then couldn't finish it off. Wasn't able to get that same comeback in game 3. Nwpo finished it off at 8-2. Jack had had enough. It feels like momentum is heavily in Nwpo's favor. Jack will need another really strong start. And he's at least letting this one not get out of hand within 30 seconds. 3 goals on the board, 2 for Nwpo, 1 for Jack. First time chatter says, AppJack is going to win. I put my entire life savings on it. Well, you can't put your life savings on it, but you can put your life in the chat on it. Kobe Bird _. You might as well get as many chats in now in case there are no more chats for you in the future. Nwpo going to make it 3-1. What a wave dash pop. Just huge slam off of the side wall. Picks up the boost in the process and chases down the ball. Nwpo pre-flip save after getting demoed. Still in a dangerous spot. Jack forcing him to the back wall. Actually gave a little bit of extra power on that to clear it farther back into his half so that he could be the first one to it. Now another chance. Nwpo just dives immediately as soon as he recognizes that Jack is going down to the ground. I feel like we saw Jack going for really masterful aerial plays earlier, but now whenever there's been a chance to go in the air or try and force it low, he's been forcing it low and not really to much success. Maybe he doesn't want to play Nwpo's game. Feels like Nwpo will have the edge there. He should. Wow, what a quick recovery. I was going to say he should have a counterattack, but Nwpo put himself in position pretty quickly. Oh, was that a fake squishy save? Did he instead go to the back wall? It looked like he was... What is going on with Nwpo, dude? He is just 360 dashing around the field. Jack, full field air dribble. Flip reset is in. Nwpo gives him the nice one. Nwpo put himself far out of position to try and see how many, like, 360 dashes he could get. And then couldn't make the goal line save. Interesting. Nwpo just forced Jack to pass him this ball. A little zap dash from Nwpo as well, as both these guys are playing on low boost. Jack gets bumps. He can slightly adjust how he hits that ball, but he has no choice but to hit it. I guess he can maybe flip away, but I do think stopping momentum that high in the air, whatever, is just even worse. Jack into a straight up high carry reset. Fake! Nwpo saves it. Made sure not to let there be a window to go under. And so it's turned down. Still stopped it. And a little soft touch. Musty. Gives him a 5-2 lead. Great read. Recognizes Jack is going to go challenge. And rolls it in past him. Jack popping this one up, bumping Nwpo, getting the third. It really feels like Nwpo's been on the verge of running away with this. But Jack, so far, has done a good job of staying within striking distance, making it possible to think about a potential Game 5. If Jack can get a few in a row. Nwpo's pre-flip leading to a 50, not the landing that Jack wanted. I think he was trying to flip onto the wall and get out to the boost. But instead, yeah, he's trying to dash it, I believe. Nwpo slamming the ball. Oh, pre-flip is not in. Would have been one of the fancier finishes to a kickoff goal. It was off the post and outs. Nwpo reset directly into Jack, who's going to launch the ball the other way. And these long shots are not easy. This is about as tough as open nets get, I feel like, to make sure you get enough power and put it on target for Nwpo not to be able to recover to it. Jack not just going to accept going out for midfield 100. He wants to take Nwpo's. He wants Nwpo to be starved. Has a 5th goal. A minute 17. Jack cutting to make it 6-6. Arrows taking the 56 months tier 1. My goodness. Jack tapped it to the left side, put it directly behind Nwpo, and then was able to flip it past him. Nwpo dunk Jack. Looked like he was maybe going for the bump or just clear the ball away. Able to make multiple saves in a row. Not in a great position, though, with the final minute. This possession for Nwpo. We're going to watch from defensive POV. Jack pre-jumps early, able to intercept it. Nwpo does not have a follow-up. Waiting out patiently. Trying to make Nwpo get a bad backflip challenge. Knows he has to kind of fake like he's going to go up and touch this one to get Nwpo to not just immediately take the ball away. Demo. Boost pickup and a free possession. Nwpo is known for chasing this down. Doesn't chase this one down. Fakes challenge instead. Jack hasn't really been able to break Nwpo down on the ground. Decent 50. Both these guys are low. Nwpo forces Jack to give it away. 15 seconds. Again, we're going to stick on Jack POV to end here. Defending against Nwpo. Wave dash. Sends us to the back wall. Jack has the ball on the ground. Highly doubt he's able to convert that for a goal. Wait a second. Switching to Nwpo POV. Last second flick. Goes high. Lands down. Overtime. Nwpo goal away from ending the series. And you might have that right here. Jack, a couple overtime losses to kickoffs. It's GG's. He had a couple close games. But Nwpo, last time he won an OT, got a kickoff possession, eventually converted. This is a more direct kickoff goal. 3-1 for Jack in this best of 5.